Welcome in to Let's Be Honest. I'm your host, Kristin Cavallari, and we are here in my dining room in Franklin, Tennessee. I am here with a legendary hair colorist who now has his own hair product line called DP Hue. He's also just the best human on the planet, and he happens to be my best friend. We're talking to Justin Anderson.
I love it.
This feels kind of weird, to be honest, me interviewing you. Also, Quinn, get out of here.
Kristin's dog's here. If you're listening, you can't see.
Obsessed with Justin.
Dogs love me.
What's that about? You've got good energy, that means.
No, I do have good energy, and I'm just a dirty dog.
You are
they can feel it.
Dirty dog.
No, but dogs are obsessed with me, and kids and dogs.
My kids are obsessed with you. I can confirm that. People are also just obsessed with you. Everybody loves you.
Get out of here,
no,
bro.
It's true. Like, it's been crazy for me to see because obviously you were on Very Cavallari, and people, you guys, Justin is way more recognizable than me. Anytime we're anywhere, it's true. Everyone comes up to you, but people just adore you. And it's because you are so positive. You have such a good positive message on social media, which I want to get to in a little bit. But
thanks for saying that. That's so sweet.
It's the truth.
I think people recognize me out because like I'm just like big and clumsy. Scoot always like laughs. He's like, Justin, you could never sneak through any room. Like I think I walk different. Like I got a lot of swish to my hips.
Walking in the room, just knocking shit over. I mean, you are tall. Like you're hard to miss. I think people would stare at you anyways, but I think you're very recognizable and people love you, so they get really excited when
this
they see
is
you.
so funny, by the way. You and I try to do this together because it's like all we do all day long is talk to each other. So then to sit here in front of the mic, like I gotta watch myself, bro. I gotta filter
and
it a
I have
little
like
bit.
an outline. I'm like, can't we just like riff? But okay, so I'm excited because we have such brutally honest conversations, and I don't want us to filter
Brutally
this. Yeah, and so
honest.
I think the things we talk about are very relatable. So I think this conversation should stay like that. But okay, we're gonna get to all of the juicy stuff. I want to start with your story because you have a really interesting story, and I think a lot of people don't know your story. So you grew up Mormon, and you didn't come out until you were 19. So I want to know what high school was like, not being able to fully be yourself.
It's so funny. Like, obviously, when I was young, I knew I was different. I had two brothers. I was always way more interested in hanging out with girls and doing more like feminine things. And I got teased a lot for it. And like my mom would always be like, Justin, you can't play with Barbies, you know? But she wasn't doing it in a shameful way. But it's like, I always knew I was a little bit different, right? But at a young age, you don't really know what your sexuality is. You know, you don't want to sleep with anyone. So I was never thinking like that. But I would watch like Disney movies, and I'd always be like staring at the prince, and I always was really like, I loved like the guys in Top Gun. So like I knew I was always like looking at guys or whatever, but it doesn't mean anything when you're a kid.
Yeah.
So as I got older, I was obsessed with romance. Like I love so much. So I always had girlfriends, and I loved my girlfriends. But now looking back on it, it was like I just loved, like I love
Like,
you.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, it was like
our relationship.
Yeah, like I would like want to protect them, and I'd want to hang out with them all the time. I'd help them with their outfits. Literally our relationship. But I was like,
Literally.
I always had girlfriends, and I was so obsessed with being in a relationship. So everyone was always like, oh, Justin's like girl crazy, you know?
Oh, how
so I
funny.
did that all through high school, and got my high school girlfriend pregnant.
Yeah.
So I got her pregnant in high school, and she had the baby. The baby, we put him up for adoption. I'm now friends with him and everything. But so that happened in my high school, and it was like a huge deal, obviously. Like she was like a cheerleader, and she's
And what
pregnant.
year in high school was this?
So I was a senior,
Okay.
and she was a junior.
Okay.
So then she had the baby, and I was in my freshman year of college. She had the baby, and then after that, I came out of the closet. So I just like hit my parents.
Did she
with, like,
know? You're the girl you had a baby with.
No, so it all kind of came out at the same time. We were broken up at that point. So when her and I broke up, and then had sex, we had intercourse like one more time, and she got pregnant then. We were together for like 2 years, and the last time we ever did it, she got pregnant. So yeah, there was time. It wasn't like she had the baby and we were still together, and then she found out there was time there. So it was a big thing. But I think like half of the people in my life were expecting it, but there were still people who were like, whoa, you're gay. And I was like, are you kidding?
Wow.
Like, how would you not know? But I really was so girl crazy in high school.
Isn't that so funny?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was dating like after you came out? Did you just go buck wild because now you could be free?
Well, it's funny. I mean, if I'm really being honest, let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
I definitely experimented like in high school, and
with guys.
Yeah. So stuff happened. Like, yeah, definitely.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Even people who
How
are
would
like
you
now
find
married
guys?
with kids, where I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Oh my God.
But my first gay experience, and I've never talked about this publicly.
Thanks
anywhere.
for putting it on my podcast.
But my first one, it was so bad, Kristen. I was, I think, 16, and this guy, this is bad. He was like 36.
But you hear that all the time.
All the time.
All the
yeah.
time.
And I used to sneak out of my parents' house, and he would come there. And now looking back on it, I'm like, what an absolute scumbag
I know it.
that guy was. Like
I
a
know.
dirtbag beyond belief.
100%.
And thank God nothing bad happened to me. I mean, I was the same then as I am now. Like, you and I will take care of ourselves, But yeah, that was like the first time, and he was that much older. And
How
now
did you meet him?
we met. I don't want to give away too many specifics.
Okay,
Then when
okay.
people look him up.
Yeah, okay.
But basically, he was
Yeah.
like a coach.
Whoa.
Yeah, for a sport that I played, and it was like,
Oh
yeah,
my God, that is horrible.
It's wild. It's wild. I mean, I don't even think I told my parents that. My mom's not listening. But no. So then, after I came out of the closet, I did have a ton of fun. Yeah, I was like so excited. I mean, I had my fake ID. I would go to like the gay bar and stuff, but I didn't have a group of gay friends yet. So I was like making girlfriends of mine go to the gay bars with me. And Casey Welch that I do hair with first. She was my best friend in high school, and she was the biggest. They call him a fag hag. You can say that word when you're gay.
You can say it. Yeah, you can say
But
it.
she was the biggest fag hag ever, and she would go to all the gay bars with me, and we were just reckless.
I love that so
much. And it was
much.
fun. And I got it on my
Yeah.
system really early.
That's great.
The wild stuff.
Well, we have similar stories, speaking of that, because when it comes to our dating paths, I think, you got everything out of your system. I did too. We ended up with narcissists, and we talk all the time about those relationships. And I think unless you've actually been through it, it's really hard to fully understand it. I actually think people don't even really understand what a narcissist is unless you've had experience
That's
with
what
one.
I was just gonna say. Unless you've actually dated one, you don't understand. And that word's thrown around so much. So I'm like, you guys, not everyone's a narcissist. If someone's a dick to you, it doesn't mean they're a narcissist.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
not
it's
everybody.
a very specific thing. Keep going. Sorry,
Well,
it's your podcast.
No. I mean, this is about you, though. But it's usually about me and our relationship. So for once, we can make it about you.
It's so true.
But we always talk about how, as difficult as those relationships are, we're thankful for them because it made us stronger.
Totally.
You learn so much about yourself. I want to hear you talk about your experience with one and how you ultimately found the strength to leave, because I think that's the hardest part for most people is getting out.
Yeah, I think for me, it was a blessing. My ex, and I don't want to talk crap too much, and I'm not going to give any names or anything, but I was in a relationship he was definitely narcissistic, and I didn't really realize it until we broke up.
Yeah.
And he actually broke up with me, and then I was devastated. Like, it was like out of nowhere, like whatever. And then of course weeks later tried to get back together, and I held strong. Like, at that point I was like, that relationship was really unhealthy. Blah, blah, cut to, I went to therapy for 2 years, talked through all of that, realized what the relationship was and why I was staying in it. And it was because my dad's a narcissist.
Yeah.
My dad was a total narcissist,
Yep.
but a good one. Like, I loved my dad, but looking back on it, it's like, oh no, he's definitely narcissistic. So that was comfortable to me. I have a lisp, everyone, so that word's kind of hard for me to say.
And I'm going to make you say it 100 times.
Over and over. So it was like a pattern that I had to break. But once I realized what I did with that and why I stayed in that relationship, I was like, oh, I'll never do that again. And then you can spot that from a mile away.
You can, but haven't you said that even after you guys broke up, you attracted a lot of narcissists for a while?
Okay, so when I broke up with him, so he was older. It's funny, I'm in a relationship now for like 9 years with Scoot, my partner, and Scoot's a lot younger. My ex was 15 years older. So when we broke up, everyone always thought like, oh, Justin loves older guys with money. And that was never the case. It was just that's how it happened or whatever. So a lot of those older guys who had a very similar personality, that's who was like asking me out all the time. And that's who people were setting me up with. But I'd go to dinner with these guys, and within minutes, I'd be like, oh, red flag. This is exactly.
So you could tell immediately.
I could tell immediately.
So you didn't keep dating narcissists. It was just they were being put in front of you.
They were being put in front of me, and that's literally who was attracted to me. And I feel like you and I talk about this a lot. I feel like there's something about our personality that attracts a narcissist.
Yep.
And I have so many theories that we can go into it at another point. But I feel like narcissists want to like tame you and I.
Yeah.
You and I have such a big personality where we know how to take care of ourselves and we get what we need or whatever. And they want to like take something from you. They
feel like they
want to
like
down.
suck our energy. It's almost like a vampire.
No,
like,
it's like
that.
it's a conquest for them.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
then looking back on my relationship when I was in it for a long time, it was like there was a lot of that stuff like trying to beat me down. Where no one's ever talked to me that way ever.
I know it.
You know, but looking back and it's like, oh, you're trying to break me down a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take just a minute to talk to you guys about a hair care brand that I've been loving, which is Amika. Let's get clinical, baby. Lather up your strands with Amika's clinically proven shampoo and conditioner duos that leave your hair looking and feeling like you just left the salon. Their science-backed formulas are powered by nourishing, naturally derived ingredients with no nasties that deliver visible, woe-worthy results for every hair type. They were kind and clean before it was the cool thing to do. Amika is always vegan and cruelty-free. They're clean and plant positive at Sephora and B Corp certified, which I love. They have sea buckthorn powered products, which nourish your skin, scalp, and strands. Guys, I've been telling you now for weeks to check them out. If you haven't, you're missing out. And I'll tell you what, my daughter, Sailor, is also obsessed with their products. I think probably solely because the packaging is so just bright and fun and she loves it. But I've been putting they have this deep conditioning mask on her hair. And usually, you guys, her hair is so tangly and so hard for me to brush through. Last night, I used it on her and it was the easiest to brush that it's ever been. I kid you not. So moms, try it on your daughters too, if not for yourselves. You guys, you can shop all of my personal favorites at loveamika.com/honest and get 20% off your order. 20% off discount automatically applied at checkout if you use my link. This cannot be combined with other offers and it expires on November 1st, 2023. Guys, let's talk about Element, one of my absolute favorite brands. I was at a music festival this past weekend, so that's why my voice is a little hoarse. But I was drinking Element all weekend long. If you guys don't know what they are electrolytes. And when you've been drinking a little bit, or if you just work out regularly, go in the sauna, if you're just on the go, you definitely need to replenish your electrolytes. I always reach for Element before I know I'm going to have a late night and the morning after. But you guys, you can use them as a cocktail mixer too, which is awesome. It contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And with none of the junk, no sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, no fillers, no BS. As I said, I love Element for the nights that I know I'm going to be having a few drinks, but I go in the sauna probably 3 to 4 times a week. And I always make sure I have it with me in there as well. I mean, when I tell you these things are with me at all times, I mean it. And you guys, right now, Element is offering a free sample pack with any purchase. That's 8 single serving packets free with any Element order. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors or share Element with a salty friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/honest. This deal is only available through my link. So you must go to drinklmnt.com/honest. Element offers no questions asked refunds. Try it totally risk-free. If you don't like it, share it with a salty friend and they will give you your money back. No questions asked. You've got nothing to lose.
It's interesting because I didn't know I was in a narcissistic relationship until I got out also. And then it was like, whoa, I felt like I had just been like hit by a bus. And it was like, that was what I had to process, I think, for so long, like working through that. But I don't think, learn my lesson immediately because I kept dating narcissists a little bit.
Well, because you are so attracted to them. Like that.
I was.
And you and I talk about this all the time. I always am telling you, like, Kristin, this is the kind of guy you need to be with. This is the kind of guy. And all of a sudden, you being single for however many years now, all of a sudden you're starting to look at those guys where me as your best friend, like everything is settled for me. I'm like, okay, we're in the clear. Like she's cool.
The tides have turned.
No, because the guys that you were like paid attention to, I was like, bro, you can't do that again.
Like bad. But things have shifted. Okay,
They really
have. They've shifted.
You've changed so much in 3 years, like so much. You were always exactly this, but you're just like really leaning in a different direction now, and it makes me so excited.
Thank God we couldn't keep doing what we were doing. We couldn't keep going through all of that. Well, now you're in a very happy, healthy relationship with Scoot, who you were just talking about. And I just love your guys' relationship. It just really works. But I want to hear from you why you think you guys work so well together.
I think it's because we're literally in a relationship for the right reasons. Like, it's all about taking care of one another, letting each other be exactly who we are.
Yes.
Like, the two of us, I mean, Scoot and I could not be more different. But then in certain areas, we're so much the same. And I think one of the biggest things is like having a partner that doesn't try to change you.
Yeah.
You will never change a personality like me or you, right? So we can never be with people who are like, I wish you'd be more blah, blah, blah. Or like when you and I go to an event or something, we all of a sudden we're the most social people in the world, right? So we're talking to everyone. You can't get into the car after with your partner and have them be like, wow, you were really talking to everyone. Like Scoot would never do stuff. Like, he really knows who I am and he's so confident with it. You know, there's no jealousy. So I think the biggest thing is like, there's no jealousy between the two of us, no trying to change one another. And like, there is no one more loyal in the world than Scoot. I mean, even the way he treats you, like Scoot is in love with you. And like, and also that having a partner that like loves you.
Yes.
Like the fact that we can travel, we've traveled the whole world together.
The three of us are basically a little family.
Yeah, and there's never any weirdness.
No.
And also, like, I love you and Scoot's relationship, and he loves ours. Like, when you guys go off and do your own thing, or when the two of you are, like, making fun of me at dinner or something, like, there's no weirdness. Like, I love it. And it's like, so we really celebrate each other's life, you know? And we're excited for each other.
I know, because you and I are so close and we talk all day sometimes. Like, the voice notes back and forth, and it's just like, it's nonstop. And I think for a partner, that could be, you could be a little jealous of that situation. And
absolutely,
he is so great about like just letting us do our thing, get a little neurotic sometimes or just be crazy. And he's never once been like, hey, Justin, can you stop like calling Kristin or anything?
All. And the funny thing is like, you and I are like the king and queen of voice notes, and we do it all day long. And you and I wake up at 4:30 in the morning and we start voice noting at that time. And Scoot's in bed next to me, and sometimes I'll be listening to him. Usually I'll try to get out of bed or whatever, but sometimes I'll be laying in bed listening, and he's just laying next to me like chuckling. I don't even know that he's awake and he's laughing, but he thinks we're the funniest people in the world. We are the
funniest people
the
in the world.
other day he said, he was like, imagine if someone took all of yours and Kristin's voice notes and turned them into a self-help book, because basically we're just giving each other advice all day long.
That's what it is. That was the funniest thing he's ever said. God, that kills me. I need to find my Scoot. Like, that's my mission, is to find my sweet, good, supportive guy.
Yeah, supportive.
Supportive, I think, is a big word.
I think you like a little bit more fight and spice than Scoot, because Scoot's like, but I don't know, maybe that's...
Fight is not the right word.
No, because fight sounds terrible, like argue. I'm saying like I'm saying in life. Like, let's say...
like a little more... Like, I know what you're saying.
If you're at the airport, you want your guy to like grab your bags and get you through the airport if there's a long line or something.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
Scoot, we're like, Scoot, we're leaving. Scoot, we gotta go.
Scoot will wait in the wrong line for like 3 hours and not ask any questions. Like, it's not moving up. Like, today he went to the airport. I don't know how he got to Arizona.
What I say to you, I go, it makes me really nervous, Scoot being at the airport by himself. Just like a lost little puppy out there.
Meanwhile, he's so efficient. Like, he really could do things really, really well, but it makes me nervous.
Yeah, so I need a little bit more. Yeah.
People
a little more like a
take
charge.
People could take advantage of Scoot.
That
true. Does
Thank
scare
God
me.
He has you. Okay, let's talk about our friendship. People always tell us how much they love our friendship, and we've said that we think we're soulmates, and I think you can have multiple soulmates. I don't think it's always a romantic relationship. So I 100% think that we are soulmates. Why do you think our dynamic works so well?
Oh my gosh, this is a fun one because there's so many things. But I completely agree, and I think our relationship is so special because when you think about it, like a gay guy and a girl together, when you have the right combo, like, it's so fucking beautiful because it's like, there's no jealousy.
Yep.
You're never going to have something that I want at all.
Yep.
You know, dating, it's not like I'm ever going to like be secretly flirting with your guy or whatever.
But we can also, I can send you pictures and be like, look how hot this guy is. And you're like, I know. Like, and we can have that too.
So all of those like kind of surface things like work out for you and I think that's why it makes the relationship so easy. But we have to be honest in the sense that like neither one of us are an easy personality. No. You know, like we're definitely like we require a lot out of friendships. Yep. You know, we're always turned on. We're always looking for like things to be amazing, blah, blah, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that you and I have so much respect for one another. It's a really interesting relationship. It's funny too, because even Scoot was saying, he's like, it's so funny, Justin. No one in the world can tell you what to do except for Kristin. Like, I won't take advice from anyone. And like, no one gets to call the shots in my life. I do what I want to do all the time, except for you. Like, I'm like a little pussy around you. Like, you could be anything that you say we should do. We should do. I'm like, okay, yeah, we should do that.
Jump off of a cliff.
Literally, though. Literally.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
But I think to get like deeper, I really think that there's this like serious connection between you and I. Like, it's so funny when I was on your show, Very Cavallari, like, we can talk about everything here, right?
Yeah.
So like,
this is a safe space.
So when you and your ex were going through like the breakup or whatever, and at that point, reality TV was new to me. So like, I was like reading comments and blog stuff, and there was all these people being like, Justin and Kristin are having sex. I know they're together, and people were talking about that. I'm like, that is so fucking bizarre. What, do people not realize that like a man and woman can be friends? And I am gay. Like, it's real, you guys. Like, whatever. But then I started thinking about like all these people are like, Justin loves Kristin. Justin's obsessed with Kristin. Blah, whatever.
God.
And I'm like, yeah, I am obsessed with Kristin. I am in love with her, and everyone should be in love and obsessed with their best friend.
Yes,
like,
I agree.
I'm in love with you. In my mind, you're my girlfriend. Like, I would take care of you like a girlfriend or a wife. But no, we just have like this real like love for each other.
I agree. And I also think like we just really get each other, but we can also connect on so many different levels, whether that be like owning our own businesses, the entertainment industry, because I mean, you worked in it for so long too, talking about men and dating and all of that. I also just think, like you said, we have similar personalities. So how we respond to situations is very similar.
Very.
Very.
And I feel like there's not a lot of explaining that has to happen between you and I.
Yeah.
Like, we get it immediately. And that makes me feel so comfortable. Like, you and I are also, we're a little bit crazy. Like,
we can be.
We can't. No. I mean in the sense that like you and I will hyper focus on certain things that are very understandable.
Yes.
But you could explain it to somebody else, and they're like, I don't get what you're
Like,
saying.
let it
at all.
go.
Like,
You're like,
every
I
time you come to
can't.
me, I get it right
I
away,
know.
and vice versa.
It's
You're my
so
favorite
nice.
person to call with like a problem, and all problems they can be silly, they can be stupid, or they can be huge, but you want your best friend to understand you. You want them to listen. I would never judge you like, oh, Kristin, that's annoying. No, it's not. If you're mad, I'm mad.
I know.
Really mad too. Like, I'll burn a house down for you.
You're sometimes madder than I am.
That's for real. The way that like you will bring me a problem that you've already moved on 10 minutes later, and I'm 3 days later, I'm still thinking about it.
You're like, can we just talk about this again?
You're like, Justin, I'm not thinking about that
No,
anymore.
but that's the thing. We have so much empathy and compassion for each other, and we just understand each other, and it's so nice. It's my favorite relationship of my life.
Me too, by far. And we were destined to be best friends. It was
Without a doubt.
It was destiny. We would have found each other no matter what.
We would have.
Did you guys know that hair thinning will happen to approximately 1 in 2 women? If you're among them, just know that you're not alone. Thinning is normal, and Nutrafol helps women address it from within with science-backed supplements. Actually, millions of Americans experience hair thinning. It's not only common, it's normal. But among women, it's not openly talked about, and going through it can feel lonely and frustrating. Join the thousands of women that are doing something about it with Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement clinically shown to improve visible thickness and strength. From postpartum to menopause to plant-based lifestyles, and no matter your life stage, Nutrafol has 4 unique formulas to support women. Each is physician formulated using drug-free, science-backed ingredients so you get the most reliable results. Go to Nutrafol.com to take their hair health wellness quiz, identify causes of your thinning hair, and Nutrafol will give you a personalized plan for better hair growth through their whole body health approach. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code HONEST. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code HONEST. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code HONEST. Okay, guys, my next partner is AG1, the daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. I try to drink it almost every single day, and I gave AG1 a try because honestly, I'm tired of taking so many supplements. If you can combine them into one powder, I think it's just a great way to get everything in your body at once. And it's better for gut health. I always feel a boost in energy, immune system support. I drink AG1 first thing in the morning before even my coffee and working out. And it just makes me feel like I can take on the day. I get that little energy boost, which I love. I'm always ready for my morning workout. I just feel like that little extra pep in my step. Since I've been drinking AG1, I've noticed an overall feeling of health. Like I said, like I just have peace of mind also knowing that I'm getting all the nutrients I need. I can feel it. I can tell with my energy boost. My skin is glowing. I just have this overall nice sense of well-being. And why take a bunch of different things when you can just mix one scoop of powder in water once a day? That's a no-brainer to me. AG1 was designed with ease in mind so you can live healthier and better without having to complicate your routine. Okay, you guys, if you want to take ownership of your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/honest. That's drinkag1.com/honest. Check it out. Does anyone else feel like summer is the busiest time? I'm sure all of my parents can relate because once the kids are back to school, you finally actually get some breathing room and some time for yourself. So this fall, why not use that time to try Stir, the new dating app built just for single parents? Stir is the #1 dating app designed for single parents, a place where you can leave the kids at home, but they don't have to leave them out of the conversation. On Stir, they know that for single parents, time is precious, limited, and unpredictable. That's why they built an app for meaningful connections with someone who not only gets your life, but lives it themselves. On Stir, they know that nothing comes before your kids, but a lot of great things can happen after. Guys, what's nice about Stir is that it's free to join. So you've got nothing to lose and you get to connect with others. They have this unique feature, which is called Stir Time, to help coordinate your busy schedules up front and streamline scheduling a date. That's music to my ears. As parents, I mean, trust me, I get it. I think making yourself a priority and going on dates can be sort of the last thing on your to-do list. But I do think it's important to make time because it feels good just to get dressed up, go have an adult conversation, just have a nice dinner, a glass of wine. I highly recommend giving this a shot. This fall, make the time for yourself on Stir. Stir is the dating app where single parents pair up. Go to stir.com/go today to get 25% off any Stir subscription package or send to your single friends to try it out. That's stir.com/go.
The first time we met, it's so funny. I mean, I won't go too much into it, but like you came into the salon to get your hair done, and I was brand new to doing hair. I just started doing like a couple celebrities, but it was so exciting for me to meet you because my sister was obsessed with Laguna Beach. I hadn't watched it yet. And my sister was like, this girl, Kristin, on Laguna Beach is literally like you as a girl. And she was like, you guys are the same person, blah, blah. So we talked about that for a while. Then Jack, your publicist, had you come into me for hair. And I called my sister. I'm like, Kristin's coming to me for hair. Like, I'm going to meet her. And she's like, oh my God, Justin, like you guys are going to be best friends with her. You came into the salon and it was like we were siblings. It was like immediately the most natural friendship ever.
Yep.
And I will say the biggest thing that stood out to me is I was doing a lot of young like Hollywood actresses at that time. And there was a part of me that's like, oh my God, she's going to be like a little bitch. She's going to show up an hour late or whatever. You were so punctual, which you always are in everything. And you had the nicest, kindest energy in the world. Like so easy to talk to. You weren't staring at your phone or like staring at a magazine the whole time. You were like really looking eye to eye and like we were having conversation. Like it was an immediate friendship. It
really was. It really was. And I mean, we got super close in the last like 4 or 5 years since you moved to Nashville. But like we had that relationship where when we saw each other, it was like no time had passed, and we would go months without seeing each other sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But then once we did, it was just like, okay, so here's what's going on, and like it's just.
And that's why the whole Nashville thing, like that was meant to happen too.
Yes.
I think so many people who saw it happen on the show thought like, oh, did they do that for the show or whatever? Like we moved here, then the show, you were like, oh, do you want to do it on the show? And I thought it was going to be a little blip on the show. I didn't realize it was going to turn into that whole thing or whatever. And then I think people thought like, oh, is he going to move back to LA or whatever? I'm like, no, this is real life. Like I've been here for 4 years.
I know it, and thank God.
Being your best friend is honestly so much fun just because you have so much going on. I mean, it's pure entertainment all the time. So like I enjoy it. And then I'm just genuinely like, I'm so in awe by so many things about you. Like literally though, like the way that you like set boundaries. Like I learned so much from you, you know, because I'm a people pleaser and you're the nicest person ever and you're so loyal and everything, but you're not a people pleaser.
No, I'm not.
Like you don't feel like you need to like please people where I do. So I learned that from you. So like And there's not very many people I feel like in my life that like I'm kind of in awe with the way that I am with you. So yeah, I'm always like rooting you on. And to anyone listening who like doesn't know, like I've worked forever in Hollywood doing celebrities.
Yep.
And I feel like I've worked on every celebrity I ever wanted to work on. And I'm saying that only because like I've worked with really big personalities.
Like the biggest people in the business.
And like impressive people, right?
Yes.
And I really swear to God, like you stand out so much to me because you have, this is why this podcast is so good, because I want people to see all the sweet little corners to your personality and all like the badass things about you. Like you're really fucking fascinating.
Thank
so
you.
like I'm just always happy to be around you.
Oh, see, you're the sweetest. But you also like, you do love women and you really build women up.
I love women.
You do. And I think it's really sweet to see a guy who just adores women. And I also think if you guys follow him on social media, or if you don't, you should. But you have such a positive message on social media. Really, your whole thing at the end of the day is we should all come together as people. Let's stop fighting. Let's all just like, what are we fighting about?
Why are we wasting all this energy fighting?
Yes.
Even like, and I know there's a lot of things in the world that we should worry about and whatever, but like as far as like social media and your everyday stuff, like the way people fight and like the commentary, I'm like, do you know what that does to your body? Just being negative and hateful all day long. Like I don't think people understand that like if you put out positivity, it'll come back to you. Even, you know, this is something that's annoying. Like people will sometimes look at you and I, like in my career, like I've done really well for myself and you've done really well. It's like, oh, well, of course they would because they got things handed to them or whatever.
Right.
By the way, both of us worked our dicks off to get to where we are or whatever. But it's also like, I feel like you and I deserve it because we put the energy out there, you know? Like,
it's law of attraction. I really believe in energy as, you know, law of attraction. What you put out is what you get back. You and I really
believe in manifesting. And
we do. I really think
you're better than I am.
All of a sudden, I'm like, holy shit, this stuff works. But I really think life is a mirror. So whatever you're putting out is what's going to be reflected back to you.
And I think it's really fun. Like, I really enjoy life. I even think when, like, things that are kind of bad happen, like, I love looking at them as learning experiences and, like, kind of being like, what can I learn from this? This is so annoying and this sucks. But, like, my biggest growths have come from those kind of things. And I think that you and I look at things in a similar way that. You know, we don't, like, lay down on the ground and like stomp our feet and cry when something happens. Like I want to be like, how can I learn from this and get through it?
That's the key to happiness.
Yeah. Sometimes it's annoying to hear people talk like this. So I'm sorry, you guys listening at home. I don't think
every obstacle is an opportunity.
Yeah, no, because I actually a lot of times don't think like that. It's just that comes naturally to me.
Well, and you know what we will do sometimes if we need to? We'll give ourselves a moment to just like bitch and get it out, and then it's like, okay, I'm moving on. We're moving on to the next thing, which is healthy, I think. Yeah. But you are such a positive light. I think you're a really good role model and just someone that people can really look up to. And so I'm thankful to have you in my life, obviously, but I think people can really tell through social media and anytime you meet people, like you just have this positive, bright light. And so I think that's why people really respond to you.
Thank you for
so
saying that.
much.
I really like people. Like I think people are fascinating. That's also why I love reality TV. Like I love people. Yeah. I love meeting people. Like you know how I am anywhere we go. Like,
you like people way more than me. I'm like, I'm trying to dip out of here.
Like when people will come up and talk to us on vacation or whatever, like I'm trying to invite them to dinner.
So nice to meet you. Yeah. And I'm like, bye. I'm leaving you.
Like the amount of people I give my phone number to.
That I swear to God, we'll go out and the next day Justin's like, oh my God, so and so from last night is texting me. I'm like, you gave your number out? I'm so confused. Like to so many people though. It's so funny. You also are the funniest fucking person I know, Justin. You make me laugh so much.
We laugh really hard.
We laugh a lot. Well, I love you, obviously. I appreciate you so much for being so honest and being here and just keeping it real with me.
Thank you for having me on this. That went by so fast.
I
what
know.
The heck?
It goes by really fast.
No, I love you, Kristin.
I love you.
Oh my God.
Okay, wait, tell everyone where they can find you. It's just Justin Anderson on
my name, Justin Anderson on Instagram.
And TikTok.
Oh, TikTok's Justin Anderson Color, and I'm really loving TikTok lately.
Yeah, and you're good on it.
You are. You're actually surprisingly so good on it.
Surprisingly.
No, because I'm like,
I love you. No,
I just never thought you'd give it that much time, but like, you're
everyone is like, never did I think you'd be doing like voiceovers.
And you're like, and they're spot on. Okay, I need to stop. I'm like,
wait, but also DP Hue.
DP Hue is my hair products. Yep. They're all available on Amazon.com. We're in all Ulta Beauty stores across the nation, and DPHue.com. And they're all hair. Just go check them
products,
out.
DPHue.com. But like really great products, you guys. So you're definitely gonna want to check them out. Okay, I love you. Bye.